Today is absolutely a great day because we celebrate with you right here on America's Main Street, Pennsylvania Avenue, the commencement of the redevelopment of probably what is one of America's great iconic buildings, the old post office. And I must say that all of us in the Trump organization were honored and were humbled being the keepers and the guardians of one of America's gems for many generations and decades to come. Along the way, we've had the pleasure of having many people that have been instrumental in helping us bring this day to fruition. And I'm pleased to welcome to the dais some of these distinguished individuals. Please join me in welcoming Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton. The 7th Mayor of the District of Columbia, Mayor Vincent Gray. Councilmember Muriel Bowser. The Commissioner of Public Buildings for the General Service Administration, Mr. Norm Dong. And we are absolutely delighted to have the Trump family with us. All of whom I can tell you have been involved in the minute detail of redeveloping this into what I hope you will view when it's done as the finest luxury hotel in the District of Columbia. Don Trump Jr., Eric Trump, Ivanka Trump, and Mr. Donald Trump. And it gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce the chairman of the Trump Organization, Mr. Donald J. Trump.
I also would like to introduce Congressman Micah, who's been a fantastic help and been pushing for this project along with Eleanor for many, many years. And thank you, Congressman, for being here. Appreciate it. So many groups have come together to get this transaction done and completed. And now it is, and we will produce one of the great hotels anywhere in the world. It's the most exciting location right between Congress and the White House on Pennsylvania Avenue. It's going to produce many, many jobs, both in construction and then a year and a half later in operating the hotel. But I promise you this will be a truly great, not only hotel, but economic development project. Something that's great for D.C., but also because of the importance of this incredible building, also great for the nation. So I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank all of the representatives from GSA. They've worked so hard to make this happen. They don't get enough credit. And I want to tell you, Norman, you can tell the entire group, they have some really talented people. And that's whether it's government or private sector. I hear so much about private sector. So I want to thank and pay my respects to the GSA. Also, my daughter Ivanka in particular, my family's worked very hard on it, but Ivanka has worked so, so hard. So I just want to thank her. I want to congratulate her. She's very, very special. And with that, I just want to introduce Ivanka Trump to say a few words. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Today really is a celebration. As we told the GSA, and many of you are here today, when you were ready to turn over this building to the Trump Organization, we would be ready, and today we're shovel ready, so we've made that happen. This is an exciting time. It was a long process, a very long and formidable RFP was put out by the United States government, and every major developer, every major hotel operator in the luxury class put their best foot forward. So it's an honor and privilege to have been selected and entrusted with this remarkable, absolutely beautiful building in this very key and important location. So we will not disappoint anyone, but it has been an amazing and collaborative effort, and there are so many people, and looking out in the audience, there's so many of you that I've worked with over the past few years. And first and foremost, obviously, I want to thank our team, my father, my brothers, for their tireless dedication, Andy Weiss, Brian, Steve Dalton, all the people at the Trump Organization, Dave Orowitz, have been incredibly influential and part of the reason we're standing here today, ready to go. Also, I want to thank some of the talented architects who have worked on this project. So Hirsch Bender has been incredible. Bayer Blender Bell, Hani Hussein is here today, has been absolutely amazing. So without their efforts, we would not be ready to go. Additionally, there are several people on the stage. I want to thank the Congressman Mika, Barletta, Denham, and obviously Congresswoman Norton. Without Congresswoman Norton, the legislation wouldn't have been passed to enable this building to be redeveloped and ultimately to realize its potential. So a particular special thanks to you, Congresswoman. Elliot Dooms from her office is somewhere floating around here too, and has been an unbelievable asset and incredibly passionate and helpful as well. Mayor Gray, you are amazing and has a wonderful team, Jeff Miller and Ivan Matthews, who have been critical to this project's development thus far. The GSA goes without saying. Norman Dong, thank you. Dan Teglerini, thank you. Kevin Terry, who we're very disappointed isn't here today. Unfortunately, he's traveling, but he was the commanding officer and has been just amazing. Brett Banks, Mina Wright, Tim Tozer, Danielle Bordeaux, Nancy Witherall, Edmund Newman, many, many more, because they all have great teams beneath them, so thank you all. Additionally, today in the audience, we also have Council Members Bonds, Orange, Evans, and Barry, and Council Member Bowser, who's joined us on the stage today and will be saying a few words, so thank you all. A few other organizations I'd like to mention, and really the amazing staffs and committee members on these organizations who we've worked so closely with over 2 years as we went through the planning process. These include the Commission of Fine Arts, the NCPC, DC SHPO, the ACHP, DC Preservation League, and the National Park Service. Your teams are outstanding, you've been readily available, and we thank you for your effort. Now the fun and the hard work begins, so we're very, very excited. Given the long road that it's taken to get here, we are looking forward to overwhelming each of you and really delighting you with the end result. So with that, I will introduce Congresswoman Norton, who's going to come and say a few words. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ivanka. I must tell you, Ivanka, considering how pregnant you were when we first started working on this building, and you won the competition, you must be tired of all the comments about how you are giving birth to a building and a baby at the same time. But that's how it looked to me, I can tell you that much. Mayor Gray, members of the City Council, Councilwoman Bowser, Councilmember Orange, Evans and Barry, Chairman John Micah, and I do want to indicate that this has been an ordeal getting this through the Congress, but this has been a bipartisan ordeal. My Republican colleagues, especially John, have been right up front and with me from the beginning, and John Micah even held hearings in the annex when it was cold and in the winter to try to dramatize how important it was to get this building up and running. But from H.R. 5001, the old Post Office Redevelopment Act, to the lease signing in September, that seemed to me, Ivanka, to go on forever. But with the groundbreaking, the Trumps tell me we are about to see something happen in record time, perhaps as soon as sometime in 2016. I am so pleased to see the whole Trump family out here. I don't know if they come out here for all the things that Donald Trump has a hand in, but here we see the patriarch, Donald, we see John, Eric, and of course the developer, Ivanka. We see a family enterprise coming to Washington. Now, the Trump Organization, of course, is known for its hotels, but Trump International on Pennsylvania Avenue, America's Boulevard, I think is destined to become its centerpiece. Look what the old post office had been reduced to, something of an ugly duckling on Pennsylvania Avenue. But I think we're about to see the grand old lady back in her iconic glory, but with a brand new identity, complete with all the historic trimmings. Now, Ivanka will tell you that when they say historic trimmings, they think they mean every little trim. But of course, in this city, we relish our iconic buildings, and I know that she is going to see to it that this building reflects its past even as it becomes brand new. What will not change is the prime location of this building on Pennsylvania Avenue across from the White House, which I think is the best commercial location in the nation's capital. It will make the Trump Hotel, I believe, an international destination. It will be the city's first truly luxury hotel, and when it is combined with the replacement that we're about to see of the FBI down the street, I think you are about to see the most important change in Pennsylvania Avenue since the Pennsylvania Avenue Development Corporation resuscitated the avenue in the first place. For DC, all of that splendor really adds up to the mundane. 700 construction jobs and 300 permanent jobs, not to mention $100 million in tax revenue over the next 10 years. That's the transformation. But there is a transformation that reaches beyond the bricks and mortar. That's the transformation of real people getting those jobs and building this new and wonderful hotel. Thank you very much.
And Congressman Micah, if you'd do us an honor, my father would love you to come up and say just a couple of words as well.
This was made possible by just people in politics. So my couple of words are, thank you, Donald Trump.
Thank you, Congresswoman Norton, for your kind comments. And we love the idea of you saying that this has become the centerpiece on Pennsylvania Avenue. So thank you for that. The mayor and the mayor's office have been at our sides all along the way, and we're delighted to have the mayor join us. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Vincent Gray.
Thank you very much, and good morning. I'm delighted to be here, first of all, with the Trump family, with Donald Trump, with Ivanka, and the other members of the Trump family. We are delighted to have you coming to Washington in this way. I want to thank the General Services Administration for the great collaboration and cooperation that they have evidenced through all of this. I want to welcome our council members who are here today. Also, Councilmember Muriel Bowser, who chairs our Committee on Economic Development on the Council, to Councilmember Evans, Councilmember Orange, Councilmember Barry, and to all the members of the council, because I know that every one of our 13 members look at this project as the centerpiece of the continued rejuvenation, if you will, of downtown Washington, D.C. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a great day. I am delighted also to acknowledge Jeff Miller, who is doing the work of our Deputy Mayor for Planning and Economic Development at this stage, and other members of his team who are working hard to be able to make this happen. You've heard some of the data. Over the first 10 years after this project is finished, it will generate $100 million in tax revenue for the District of Columbia. And, of course, not to be mercenary, but we look at those numbers every day. It is hopefully that they are continuing to go north. You've heard about the 700-plus construction jobs that will be created, the 500 permanent jobs that will be created as a result of this hotel. But one of the most important things to me is the redefinition of Pennsylvania Avenue. You heard Mrs. Norton talk about this may be the most significant change in Pennsylvania Avenue in probably 2 or 3, maybe 4 decades. And that is absolutely true. You know, as we talk about the building being between the White House and the Congress, don't forget also it is as close as it can possibly get to our City Hall, the Wilson Building, right up 2 blocks up the street, ladies and gentlemen. And it will indeed bring a new flavor to Pennsylvania Avenue. I can't wait until the day comes. I know that must have been contemporary architecture that the FBI building was designed as at one point, but ladies and gentlemen, it is not contemporary today. And I don't know whether we'll get to keep the FBI in the District of Columbia now, but I know this. I know we won't lose, because when that building goes, it will provide an opportunity to generate property taxes, sales taxes, and income taxes that we simply don't have now, and will substantially enliven Pennsylvania Avenue in a way that has not been the case in so many years. And that, frankly, that symbolizes where we are with our city today. And that is a place where people are now living in downtown. People are downtown 24/7. It is an active, vibrant, energized place. And we know when the Trump Hotel comes here, ladies and gentlemen, it will add even more vibrancy to Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest. Let's get on with the construction, ladies and gentlemen, so we can get back here for the ribbon cutting in a couple of years.
Mr. Mayor, we thank you for your support and for your enthusiasm. I'm pleased to introduce Councilmember Bowser. In addition to her role as the councilwoman over the 4th Ward, you heard that she is the chairwoman of the Committee of Economic Development. Please join me in welcoming Muriel Bowser.
Well, good morning, everybody, and I wanted to come and greet you and add my thanks and appreciation to the Trump Organization. Donald, we want to thank you for your interest and commitment and your vision for this building. We know that you make no small plans, and that's exactly what we see in our future, no small plans. I am certainly proud to represent over 600,000 people who want to have great economic development in every quadrant of our city. And today, I am pleased to represent all of the members of the council who are so proud of the resurgence not only of downtown, but every area of Washington. And I'm reminded always when I look at Jack Evans that he has a lot of hotel rooms already. He's been very instrumental in making sure we could all be here today. And Jack, I just want want to pledge to you that we're going to keep pushing on that type of economic development for our whole town. The other thing that today reminds me is that when the Trumps are in town and thousands of people are moving here every day, that people are discovering more and more outside of the District of Columbia, around our country and around the world, that the district is the place to be. And so we want to continue to be a safe place for investment, the place where we're creating jobs, the place where our neighborhoods are safer, our schools are improving, and we have more recreation, a place where college students look to come to get a job because it's cool here in the District of Columbia, where we have world-class restaurants, growing retail options, and we're attracting talent from around the world. So I couldn't be prouder to be here as a person whose family has been here for 5 generations and have seen every iteration of Pennsylvania Avenue, knowing that we're looking forward to a bright future on this avenue. So thank you and good luck.
Thank you, Councilmember Bowser. Along the way over the past 2 years, we've had the great pleasure of working with the GSA in ensuring the integrity and historical character of this landmark is preserved for many generations to come. It gives me a great deal of pleasure now to introduce the Commissioner of Public Buildings for the GSA, Mr. Norm Dung.
Good morning, everyone. As a longtime resident of the District of Columbia, I am thrilled to be joining the Trump family, Congresswoman Norton, Councilmember Bowser, and Mayor Gray today for this groundbreaking event. All of us at GSA are excited about the upcoming transformation of the old post office, which has long been an underused federal asset, into one of Washington's premier hotel properties. This project is a great example of our efforts at GSA to identify highest and best use of the properties within our federal buildings portfolio. And while the old post office building was never vacant, its use as an office space was inefficient for the government to maintain, and it was not realizing the full potential of this building. And at GSA, we are moving aggressively to dispose of or to find new uses for our underused real property. Over the past 4 years, GSA has completed nearly 600 disposal transactions that have generated more than $200 million in proceeds. We're hosting auctions, requesting industry input, and offering exchanges and long-term leases to put excess and underutilized property to higher and better use. And there's some great examples of our efforts all around us. Across the street, we're maximizing the value of the J. Edgar Hoover building through a competitive exchange approach to support the construction of a new consolidated headquarters for the FBI. Out in California, we're leasing the historic Hangar 1 facility at the Moffett Airfield in Silicon Valley to a private sector partner. As part of that deal, Planetary Ventures will rehabilitate the massive hangar that once housed the nation's largest airships and will assume responsibility for managing the airfield used by NASA's Ames Research Center. And last year, GSA sold the West Heating Plant here in Georgetown for close to $20 million through an online auction. These are just some of the things that we're doing at GSA to find new and better use for some of our federal properties. Working with the Trump Organization and other private sector partners, we're looking to find innovative ways to create efficiencies and save money for the American taxpayer. The new hotel here at the old post office building will truly be a landmark in Penn Quarter for many years to come. And it highlights the great possibilities that become very real when the government and private industry work together. We're very excited about this project. Thank you very much.
So there are 3 very important people in the audience that I'd like to recognize. And just to give you a little context, the minute it was determined that the Trump Organization would be the developer of the old post office building, our phones were ringing off the hook. Every bank, not only in this country, but every country, was calling to seek to help finance. Rosemary, Dominic, and Emily from Deutsche Bank, who are here with us today, they stepped up in a major way. So like everyone else who's been involved in this project, we only wanted to work with the best. They are the best, not by their own admission, but by everyone else's. So thank you all for being here and for your incredible support. Now, because this is a celebration and to commemorate this incredibly special day, we invited the Washington Ringing Society to be here for this ceremonial groundbreaking. There are 6 members, they're all bell ringers, and in this unbelievable clock tower that soars high above us, incidentally, it's the tallest building in all of Washington, D.C., the tallest structure after the Washington Monument, but it's also home to the Bells of Congress. The Bells of Congress were a bicentennial gift given to the United States government by Great Britain and are housed right up here. So there are 6 members that are here today who are going to chime the bells. The next time we'll hear these bells ringing are when we're all inside the Cortile and celebrating the opening of this amazing hotel. Thank you all for being here.